we have the Week 15 NFL broadcaster assignments. So let's go talk about them. So, there is an Amazon Prime Video has the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Atlanta Falcons are out of playoff contention, while the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in playoff contention, but they're tied for the top of the South at 7-6 with Carolina after Tampa Bay got stunned by this. Tampa Bay got stunned by New Orleans Saints. That was a stunning game for the Saints. No one actually win it. I can't believe they actually pulled that off to go to 7 or to go, because all the Saints are doing. Because yes, they could have folded and they could have said, you don't want to be sometimes you want the number one pick, but no, they do not, and that shows a lot of fight in that team, and especially when Tampa Bay had a game up advantage, could have had a game up advantage in the division for the division title, because that's the way the NFC South one team from every division has again. The Michael Scripted Street Kelly Hurtsong is the center. And then we have home runs at Chicago Bears. The only reason why this game is a little bit bigger than with I'm not sure what tier announcers there, but it's not the top tier announcers, but it's like third tier. I would say third tier announcers. The only reason why this one's bigger is because the Chicago Bears are going to most likely make the playoffs, but not entirely though. This could be like a trap game for them where because Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders, like they almost gave it to J.J. McCarthy when he struggled that one game. First game they gave it kind of to him. Second game he almost, Bears almost gave it to Vikings, Not struggling, but throwing some interceptions. So, they almost gave it to him, so twice. So I can see it. It's going to be an interesting game. Good game though. An interesting game. Good Jordan Allison Williams. Then Baltimore Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals. That's a good top tier game. They have the fifth, or what I would call the fifth tier announcers on CBS. Spurdies Emmer Chleta and Didi Hebawala. Fifth tier announcers, I would say. This game is a lot better than the record show, but Cleveland or Baltimore is 6-7 after that loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cincinnati Bengals are 4-9 after that loss to the Buffalo Bills. Joe Burrow's injury had a lot to do with this season, and and they could have still made the playoffs in the AFC North. But they needed a win to stay 2 games behind. The winner, Pittsburgh or Baltimore. So, they still have hope. Technically, they could be 8-9. Well, Pittsburgh has to be 7-10, and so the Baltimore, the best, could be 7-10. So, we'll see. Lamar Jackson's injury played a little bit into this as well, but they still have hope to make the playoffs. Not with super amazing group, but they still can make the playoffs as the AFC North qualifier. So, and then we have Arizona Cardinals at Houston Texans, Chris Bears, Jen Hill. The other reason why this game is I would say, what would I say? I would say this is the sixth year, actually 6th year announcers. And the only reason why this has any excitement is Houston Texans are fighting to get in the playoffs. I mean, they were struggling a little bit, and then they've been won 5 straight now. We're 8-5. Here for week 15, they won 5 straight now. So it's a good solid football game for Houston Texans. They can go at 6 straight games win. So that'll be a good one for Houston. They can win that one. And Arizona. Not really actually, because Arizona is out of the playoffs. It's just like playing for pride at this point. Trying to end their seasons outright. See if who deserves to be on like stars for next season. Who deserves to be the starters, and then who deserves to be, on the team, I guess, in general. Starters, all that stuff. That kind of thing, like play, you deserve to be on the team. And then we have New York Jets at Jacksonville Jaguars. Tom McCarthy, Ross Tucker, Tiffany Blackman. I would say this is the 6th year. It really is, because the Jets are struggling this season. They're not the worst in the NFC or the AFCs, but they're like near the bottom of the AFC. So as a whole, I'll give them the 6th year announcers for this, definitely give them the 6th year announcers for this game. And then this is the 3rd year announcers. Los Angeles Kansas City Chiefs. You think this is a better game though, also than like it shows, on the overall announcers. Just but the Kansas City Chiefs have been struggling though. They have been struggling. They're 6-7 now, a couple of games behind in the AFC playoff picture. So they still have chance. But it's getting pretty thin though. They have to win out, and hope if they win out, they have to get to 10-7, and then hope there's the last seeded team or either they win on tiebreakers or they beat them on tiebreakers if they're tied at 10-7, or hope like every other team is 9-7. So we'll see. So it's Kevin or Triple Millie Collins. So this is a better over record game than it shows, but not bad though. And then we have Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. This is like one of the top tier games in the NFL this week. No surprise there. Ian Eagle, JD Evan Washburn. This is a 2nd tier game on CBS. No surprise there. Buffalo Bills are 8-5, while the New England Patriots are 2nd in the AFC. They don't have the tiebreakers. They're tied for the top with Denver Broncos there. So they're 11-2, which is a really, really solid record at 11-2. Amazing record. Really solid record. I can't complain at all one bit. Over in the AFC, it's kind of been like defense dominated teams. Like a bunch of defensive teams like Denver, New England. You have teams like that, in Houston. Their defense dominated. You still got some offensive teams like the Chargers. I guess they could be offense, or and they still have a good offense, good defense. But a lot more defensive teams though in the AFC are at the top. And the Washington Commanders at New York Giants. 2 teams are out of playoff contention in the division match. Kenny Albert, Johnson, Omega Lee. If you talk about Fox announcers, this is like 50. I would say 5th year. They called it the 5th year game last week. No, actually, they call them not the fifth tier, the fourth. I would say like fourth tier, third, fourth tier. Um, but I would say this is like almost like a sixth tier team. There are two teams out of playoff position, just playing for pride, playing to stay in the division, playing to keep a job for next season. Like Marcus Mariota, playing to keep a position as a backup quarterback. Well, for someone to pick up as someone who might want like a cheap starter, or someone who needs like a bridge quarterback or wants a starter, wants a backup in case somebody gets hurt, in case someone gets hurt, and they can perform decently well. Marcus Mariota is a good quarterback for that, So, and then you got Jackson Dart starting. The Giants have had Russell Wilson. They went to Jackson Dart. He got hurt. They went to what was it? Jameis Winston. He was probably the practice squad quarterback. Then he went to a practice squad quarterback. Then he went to So yeah, I can see why. No surprise there. Las Vegas the Philadelphia Eagles. Joe Davis goes to Pam over. No surprise there. Philadelphia is a good must-watch team in the NFL. Philadelphia is still in the playoff race. They still have a hope to make the playoffs, but I mean it's running thin for going into week 15. They're still playing right now as Monday Night Football. They still got hope. Cowboys do, but man, I just don't see it. I just don't see them making that playoffs as the division leader, even as a wild card. That loss to Denver or Detroit. That lost to Detroit really hurt them. Really did for the Cowboys. So Philadelphia's probably got this. That's the only reason why it's bigger. It is because it's Philadelphia playing against a team. Las Vegas is a bigger market team. Las Vegas is not the biggest city. Not like I don't know. They're not like the top cities that you think of, like maybe the top cities in like top two, like New York and LA. But maybe like they're like Chicago, Las Vegas. Some major cities like 3, 4. Like Chicago, you might think of like number 4, number 5, big cities, like major cities. But I don't blame them. I see that, no problem. Jimmy and Chase Yost on the feature game for Green Bay Packers at Denver Broncos. As there used to be 17 weeks, so only week 17. Fox and CBS would have double headers because of the NFL playoff picture. If you want to see how the playoffs unfolded, you can watch both conferences, or or just both play out, or just both like leagues play out. See the league play out, see how it makes the playoffs. The American Football Conference and the National Football Conference. So, yeah. And then you have Detroit Lions at Los Angeles. That's with Tom Brady, Kevin Burkhardt, and Tom Rinaldi, Aaron Andrews. No real surprise there. I mean, that one. Detroit Lions are 8-5 in the marquee matchup. The Los Angeles Rams are 10-3 in the new number 1 seed with that win on Sunday to against Arizona Cardinals. The Detroit Lions are still fighting for playoff positioning, so they're not in the playoffs as of yet. They're still fighting for the playoffs. Will they get in the playoffs? I don't know. They may not, though, get in the playoffs. They may not, They may not, so I can see them not getting the playoffs. You know? I mean, because you got San Francisco, you got Chicago, you have, like, other teams. You know, you have Seattle, LA Rams, on those two, you know? So I don't know. For wild card, so I don't know. And then you got Green Bay Packers at 9-3-1. Top with that tie, they have a half-game lead in the NFC North. And then in the NFC, and then the AFC West, Denver is not officially won the AFC West yet, because right now the Chargers are playing on Monday Night Football. They have a 10-3 lead here on the Monsters Fun Day Football cast. Right now, the Monsters Fun Day Football, they got 10-3 lead, so not bad, not bad. So, and then we have, so Denver, yeah, this is the top seed in the AFC. With the tie over New England. Not bad. So, then you have, Carolina Panthers and New Orleans Saints. Now this is considered the seventh game by Fox. And I can see it. You know me, I can see it. Carolina, yeah, they're up and down, you know, playing against Tampa Bay. You know, but it'll really be a big match, though, when Tampa Bay and Carolina play. You know, that will be a big game for the sake of the NFC South title, because both teams will be fighting for the NFC South title. And it probably will be tied when they play it, you know, the matchups, because let's see. When they play each other. I believe they still have to play each other. Yes, they play twice. They play on December 21st, week 16, and they play January 4th. So no real surprise there. Both teams are really going to play each other, so that'll be a big game then. But most likely both teams should be 8-6 for that match. So then that'll end up becoming like a big, like number 2 like a big game on Fox. Maybe not the. Depends on what Fox has week 16. So let's see here, week 16. What Fox is. They have. Yeah, actually it should be, because LA Chargers at Dallas. Depends. Is Dallas eliminated from the playoffs? If they lose to Minnesota Vikings, they pretty much could be eliminated from the playoffs. Nor they're 6, you know, at what are they, 6-8-1, or 6, or what are they, 6-6-1? Yeah, they're 6-6-1. If they lose, they'll be 6-7-1. So they'll be eliminated from the playoffs. Not guaranteed, but maybe not 100% eliminated, but actually, if the teams get to 10 wins, there's no way they get to 10 wins if they lose to Vikings. So they could be eliminated from the playoffs. So yeah, so that will be a feature game week 16. That will be the Fox. It should be, because winner will get the NFC South title. Regardless if what the records are, if they both lose, both win. You know, or one team wins, one team loses, you know. It'll be both, you know. So it really doesn't matter. Both winner will get the NFC South lead with the head-to-head tiebreaker. So unless there's a tie. So, okay. So yeah, just many Robert Griffin III, Sarah Costa, name best quote 6 with Andrew Cannon, Charles Jim ES. No real surprise. I mean, well, you got they're bringing in Philip Rivers as quarterback. Bring in Philip Rivers as quarterback. The quotes are for the injured Daniel Jones. No real surprise there too much. Daniel Jones is hurt, so yeah, they're bringing him in for a season-ending injury. So if Seattle can win that in the quotes, I mean Seattle should more easily win it, but you never know. It still might be a good game though. Philip Rivers, what's at the top? Philip Rivers trying to come back and bring him back to the top seed, and that's I can't blame him. Not the top seed, but like the F team. And then you have Andrew Cannon, Charles H.G. McCurry, ADRS, 2%, no, 2 minutes removed. The ADRS, and they have Tennessee Titans, San Francisco 49ers. It's MME and Drew Brees, Christina Pink. No real surprise there. Tennessee Titans, San Francisco 49ers, our top tier team in the NFL. They're 7th team in the NFC right now. They are trying to be eliminated. They're trying to keep pace with the San Francisco keep pace with the Seahawks and the Rams for the NFC West and stay afloat for the playoffs. So no real surprise there. Yeah, I can see they're playing bottom tier Tennessee. No real surprise. They're tied for it probably. You know, the worst in the NFL right now. No real surprise that's not getting the top tier announcers. Well, I mean, it's getting not like a mainstream announcer, you know, because it's just tough. Because no real surprise. Or miss big Tuscoys. Like Joe Chris from the Mr. And I'm Sunday football game. Then Miami Dolphins Spitz Roosters and ABC and ESPN. So it's on ABC, simulcast ABC, and it's on ESPN with Joe Buck, Drakeman, Lisa Dirt, and Laura Rodriguez, 2 center points. Lose to Sarah 1, 10,